So, what if you had an actual user manual for reality? I mean, a real one. Well, we're about to dive into this really fascinating document called Quantum Entanglement Applications, your personal 2025 toolkit. And let me tell you, it makes some bold, almost science fiction level claims about giving you direct control over your life. So what's actually inside this thing? Let's find out.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to walk through this manual together, piece by piece. First, we'll look at the big idea behind the toolkit. Then, we'll get into its operating principle, how it's all supposed to work. After that, we'll learn the 7-second command that supposedly activates it all, check out the wild library of capabilities it claims to unlock, and wrap it up with its ultimate promise, something called an unlimited delivery service.
All right, so let's start with that central promise. Right out of the gate, this document makes it clear this isn't some abstract philosophical idea. No, it's framed as a practical, hands-on toolkit, a set of applications, they call them, designed to give you, the user, immediate and direct control over your own reality.
And you know, that immediately brings up the huge question, how? How is any of this supposed to work? Well, that's where Section 2 comes in. It gets right into the core mechanics, the engine that drives the whole system. This is the why that comes before we get to all the crazy what.
Okay, here it is, the fundamental concept, and it's a doozy. The toolkit argues that this has zero to do with manifesting stuff out of thin air. Instead, it claims you're just tapping into a network that already exists. A network that literally hardwires every single parallel version of you together, across every possible reality.
Let's break that down. Think of it like this. 1. You're not building anything. You're just logging into a network that's always been on. 2. You're not creating a new skill or a new pile of cash. You're just raiding a vault that already has your name on it. And this leads to the most crucial part. Number 3. Because of this quantum connection, any update you make happens everywhere, instantly, no lag time, no delay.
Okay, so if that's the theory, what's the practice? How do you actually use this network? Section 3 gives us what it calls the master key to the whole system, the 7-second command. This is presented as the simple, user-friendly interface for everything.
And the name says it all. Why 7 seconds? Because according to this toolkit, that is literally all it takes. The entire process, from the second you decide what you want to the moment it's locked in, is designed to be over and done in just 7 seconds.
And the command itself is just 3 quick steps. First, you feel. For a full 3 seconds, you just completely immerse yourself in the feeling of having what you want. Second, you say a specific command to activate the network, something along the lines of entangle and pull this, full transfer and lock now. And finally, you execute. You seal the deal with a sharp physical action, a hard breath out, a snap of your fingers, a stomp of your foot, and that locks the transfer into your reality. So, now we've got the theory and the command. So what can you actually do with it? Well, Section 4 gets into the fun part. It lays out a library of capabilities, 10 specific applications you can supposedly run using that 7-second method.
And as you can see, we're not talking about small life hacks here. The scope of what's being claimed is just massive. The applications cover everything from your bank account and your body to your memories and even global events. So, let's just do a quick run-through of what each of these 10 applications is supposed to do.
First up is instant money transfer. The idea here is that every version of you across all realities shares one big quantum bank account. By using the command, you can supposedly authorize a withdrawal from your wealthiest parallel self, and the funds just show up. The records even update to make it seem like the money was always there. Next, body upgrade theft. I mean, imagine being able to just swap your current body for a better model. This application claims you can entangle with a healthier, stronger, younger you from another timeline and just overwrite your current physical state with their biological blueprint. Everything from your cells to your muscle tone.
Have you ever wanted to just know a language or play the piano perfectly? Application 3 is skill/language download. The idea is you skip the years of practice. You just entangle with a parallel you who's already a master, and you download not just their knowledge, but their muscle memory and their neural pathways. Instant expert.
This one is framed like a kind of cosmic dating app. They call it the soulmate GPS lock. You don't just wait around and hope to meet someone. The idea is you entangle at a heart level to ping the multiverse, find the timeline where your perfect partner is, and then pull that person's reality into yours. Now things get even more out there. Memory upgrade suggests you can literally import memories from your most enlightened parallel selves. The source text talks about a sudden flood of galactic memories and even claims you could remember designing this entire universe. And here's where the toolkit zooms way out, from the personal to the global. The Global Awakening polls claims a single user can amplify their personal energy field so much that it connects with people all over the planet, acting like a catalyst for a massive shift in global consciousness.
Now, this might be one of the most jaw-dropping claims in the whole document: death override. This application suggests you can entangle with versions of yourself who are biologically immortal. And in doing so, you could overwrite what the toolkit calls the death program in your own DNA and just stop the aging process in its tracks.
Evidence rewrite is basically a proposal for changing the past. Think about it. You change one single photograph from your childhood. Through entanglement, every related record, all documents, everyone's memories, any other photos, they all instantly update across every timeline to match that new reality. It becomes the only history that ever happened.
This one's the ultimate defensive move, the emergency shield. It's for critical situations. The idea is to pull the untouched, unharmed energy field from a parallel version of you who was never in any danger. And this supposedly creates an instant psychic shield, making you completely immune to any attack, physical or otherwise.
And finally, number 10, zero-point energy tap. This application claims you can tap the multiverse for unlimited energy by installing the wiring from a parallel self who's already figured it out. And the implications are just radical. It suggests that basic needs like food or sleep could become completely optional.
So after laying out those 10 really powerful applications, the document brings it all home with a final, core conclusion. This is the ultimate takeaway, the whole philosophy behind the entire toolkit all wrapped up.
And honestly, this quote just says it all. It reframes the entire multiverse not as a bunch of separate lives, but as your own personal, on-demand resource network for literally anything you could ever want or need.
So there you have it. That's the Personal 2025 Toolkit as it's laid out in the source material. It presents this absolutely radical way of looking at reality. And I think the question it leaves us with is a big one. Is this a literal blueprint for creating a new reality, or is it a really fascinating thought experiment about consciousness and the nature of possibility? That part is for you to decide.